A lot of times, agents that I work with decide that they say, well, I just try not to take them to as many new construction places because of what reason? Why do you think that some agents would not always go and show new construction? The idea is to fill your pipeline, right? There's going to be times when the market's great. There's going to be times where your listings are sitting, like probably some of you right now. The idea is to always have that pipeline going and to have that opportunities for buyers to be coming in multiple ways. New construction is a really easy way to do it. We don't just sell, build from dirt. We have specs. Some of those specs are ready tomorrow, right? You could close in the same amount of time that it takes for you to close on a resale, right? The idea is to have multiple options. When you work with a builder, we're in high demand right now. It is cyclical, as Brad is probably going to get to. The market changes, it shifts, and you have to shift and change with it, right? It's an easy way. Properties are always in peak shape. There's no issues needed on a new build. There's warranties that come with it, and we'll get into some of those reasons why it would be beneficial for you to kind of venture into the new real estate world. It's an easy place for you to get extra sales, fill that pipeline, keep things moving. Our economy in Florida, although some might argue all across the country right now, may not be as robust, but things are changing, right? The horizon is certainly brighter. Florida's Florida. There's only one coast. The weather is where it is. People are still flocking to this area, and we can't keep up with the demand. New construction will always be. Touched on our climate. Obviously, that's increasing population is a huge one, right? We are one of the highest growing states every year for the past at least, I think, 6 years and counting. That's not really going to change. Advantages of new construction. Modern features, right? How many times have you shown certain buyers older properties? The idea is for you to be thoughtful in the way that you set up your showings. You might have a buyer and they're looking for something, and you know that buying a resale may be out of their price point, right? Location-wise, you pay for location. Certain new construction communities, those most popular spaces are already spoken for. You can't really build on those right now. New construction is where the growth in the build is going. When you're able to show them these properties, they may not need a new roof. They may not need to open up the kitchen. They might not need to do changes on the house to make it something that's perfect for them. They have the option and the ability to pick and choose. Energy efficiency homes. This is something that's growing and building, especially in Florida. You've got Babcock Ranch. You've got these solar powered towns. You have options within the build of your home to make it more energy efficient, right? We are now at our community and throughout most of the Pulte communities in our area doing an Energy Star efficiency rating, which increases the overall productivity of your home, lowers energy costs. Again, another selling point to your customers. Customization, that's a super easy one, right? Your buyers get to pick and choose. You take them in. The idea is they pick and choose a home that they love. They then have options depending on the builder, structurally on how the home is going to look from the outside, how it's going to be built. Adding pools. Again, not all builders are the same. Not all levels of options are the same, but the idea is giving them that idea and freedom of saying, this is what I want. I get to pick and choose where I spend my money in my home. In our homes themselves, we have a pretty new community. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary, February 11th. We're almost halfway sold out, which just goes to show the popularity of new construction and the fact the market is speaking to purchasing. The resale numbers compared to new construction is winning lately. Again, it's just another option. It doesn't mean you're not going to be selling resale. It just means that put it on your radar, let them see what's available. Price points, you're not paying for a location, something older, you're getting new, you're getting nicer, you're getting warranties. And when they get to pick and choose, it gives them that freedom to feel a little more ownership in that house. They don't have to make any changes to it. All of our models are super open floor plans. We build our communities based off of what buyers want. From one community, when we close out and we start a new one, we take feedback from those homeowners, and we make changes to models. We make changes to amenity campuses. We make changes to what the buyer wants so that we're delivering those needs for them. You should be utilizing it for your business to help grow it, but in the homes, you can get as smart a home as you possibly can think of now. Sky's the limit, it only costs money, right? We have high-tech companies that we work with that do all sorts of over-the-top electrical additions to your home. A lot of people love that idea of being able to move into a home. It has security, it has speakers, it has everything. It's turnkey, it's ready to go. New materials that we're using, it's always changing in procurement. We're able to offer the latest and greatest flooring, cabinets, countertops, backsplash. Again, depending on the builder, changes the number of options that you get. With us, there's an awful lot. So they get many choices to really make that home the way they want. If it's a quicker move-in that you're looking for too, right? If that's less time for you to wait for your commission, we never build a quick move-in as just a base home. It's always going to be done with the designer, with everybody's opinions and what most buyers are already doing when they're building their homes and those appointments. So the homes look beautiful. They're easy to show. Brad's going to touch on how you can even use communities and use some of those homes to increase leads, right? Via video. Energy efficiency, again, lowers the cost of the home. It makes a big deal, right? Especially now, money can be tight in certain areas. Anything in your house that can help sustain that buying power and save you money or your buyer's money is going to be a super important issue for them. Certainly what they're looking for now. Higher end insulation. At our community, we offer free, it comes standard, impact glass. Do you think with the year that we've had in Florida that that's not a huge touching point? It is. It's huge. And it's a standard that can cost up to 40 to 60 grand depending on the size of the home. So having that as a standard feature has been a big selling point. It's not part of the code in Collier or Lee County. It's just something we as a builder have decided. So you have those buyers that are certainly looking for safety in their new home. Again, I mentioned solar panels. We don't put heaters in the pools because a lot of people choose to do solar. Lowers the cost, right? We're in Florida. There's plenty of sunshine. People say, I want the neighborhood. I want to move. My house doesn't have anything. It's old. We have a small pool. You can pick and choose which community offers what your people are looking for. In ours, now we have restaurants. Those are becoming more and more. You can see here they have that bar area outside. These are what people want. So therefore, all of these newer communities are starting to put those extra things in the amenity campus where before it was, does it have a fitness center? Does it have a community pool? Now you've got lap lane pools. You have separate kiddie areas with slides. You've got movie theaters. These things are all changing because people are wanting it and builders are certainly listening for that. Parking and walking, again, there's communities people want to be away. They want to be out in Babcock Ranch where there's miles and miles of nothing other than walking and nature trails. So you can find what your buyers are looking for and just take them to those communities, right? New construction is super easy. With our particular at Torino, we've got a design studio on site. You bring your buyers in, maybe they're on the fence. That's a really nice selling point. We can take them into the design studio and they can look and see all the different options that they get to pick from. We have a designer that helps them go through that process. So it's not overwhelming, but it just shows them, wow, I really get a say in the building of this home and everything that goes into it. Again, paint, flooring, tile, kitchen, you name it. There's 5 to 6 levels of everything. The reduced maintenance costs. Buying new is nice. New is cheaper. I don't need a new air conditioner. I don't need a new roof. I don't have issues with my water heater. Everything is new. And depending on the builder, you're going to have a pretty substantial warranty involved in that too. We have a 10-year warranty on the structural, 5-year on your electric, 2 years on water infiltration, and then we have a year on craftsmanship. Modern materials, again, sustaining longer, requires less maintenance, reducing costs for your buyers. And then updated systems. Everything is new, latest and greatest. Lennox is what we use, right? Anything that you can show them and then compare it to new construction, again, you're just giving them choices. Giving your buyers choices is a good thing. You fill your pipeline, you bring them to me, you don't have to know everything about the community. That's the whole idea. You have a teammate, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. You bring them in, I do the rest. You collect your commission 6 months, 8 months down the road, max. Increase property values, right? New is nice. They appreciate better for your investor buyers, right? They want to get into an up and coming community. They get in at a specific time in that community. They have an opportunity to gain some equity, right? Before pricing starts jumping up and going up. They get in at a good time. They can rent. They wait for the builder to exit that community and property values generally go up. Increase resale as well. How often does a standard person live in their home? Samantha, how long on average?
5 to 7 years.
Right? 5 to 7. How long does it take us generally to build out an entire community? 4 to 6, right? So again, those investors getting into new construction, they can rent for those 3 to 4 years. They wait for the builder to leave. They wait for the amenity to open. Prices jump. They sell. They make a profit. They buy their next one through you, right? I think one of the biggest advantages to new construction is timing. Say you have a buyer. Say they come on a lead on YouTube or like on Zillow or something, and you call them and they say, well, I really don't want to move for 5 months. Okay, great. What do? You have to foster them for 5 months. You go to a new build, we can sell a quick move-in home that's already started. It's perfect for them. It's not going to be done for 3 to 4 to 6 months, right? Like I can sell a property, it doesn't have to be completed for me to sell it. So there you lock in that sale. They watch that home grow. You move on to your next buyer, right? It's not a issue of we're searching for a home. My buyer wants to move in 3 months. Most sellers are not going to be okay with that. They don't, right? Potentially they could, but again, you have that flexibility of timing when you're talking in construction. There's different loan programs available as well. Mortgage rates. Every buyer always asks now, with the crazy rate market that we're in, what are your rates? What are your rates? You guys probably all have buyers sitting there on the sideline waiting to try and purchase because, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the rates. Well, we have opportunities to set them up with different loan programs. We have opportunities to incentivize. It's really hard to compete against a builder because a builder can make their own rules, right? Right now, what is the rate? 6.9, something like that, to 7.1 is the market rate. Well, I have the ability to say, okay, you can't afford that interest rate. How would you like 4.99? Right? At the end of the day, your buyers are all going to get an incentive off that property. I tell my buyers how they want to use that is up to them. Say you're building a home. Say there's a quick move in Mystique. Nancy brings in her clients. They love it. But we do a little home affordability estimate. They can't afford it. Well, instead of asking for $75,000 off the list price, let's ask for $50,000 off, and then we use that $25,000 to buy the interest rate down. Your buyers are going to get that incentive. How they use it is up to them. To me, locking it at a lower interest rate, if they're financing, is by far the better option because now their buying power increases substantially. That, in a nutshell, is why I think buying real estate in Florida, not just focusing on resales, is the way to go. It makes a difference who you work with, right? Your best ability is your availability. For all you new agents, right? Answer your phones. Always be there. Always be on top of it. I don't sell what I sell because it's just me. I rely on agents. I rely on those down months where things aren't so strong, but I have 5 agents. Hey, what do you got? Hey, what do you need? Hey, we're coming in. I can't be there. Can you protect me? Of course. Send me their information. They know they're working with you. I'm going to take them over the finish line. But it's a teamwork, and to me, having that opportunity to expand your guys' pipeline is huge. Don't just focus on the quick sale, because it's really easy. I've got agents in here that I've worked with. Set the pipeline, make other sales. Oh wait, your commission's coming because that home's closing in 2 months. It's really easy. When you're financing, obviously your closing costs are certainly going to be higher, right? There's going to be those fees that we can't get away from. But again, with your closing costs, it's very easy for us to use. If your buyer doesn't want to have as much out-of-pocket money or can't afford it, again, in that incentive, in that offer, we're in a position where you can still negotiate with builders, right? It's a good thing. There was a time where, what's the price, Bob? Well, the price is what's on that quote. Take it or leave it. If not, I'm selling it to the next person. But what's good about builders is they are very fluid and they change with the environment. So right now, you can negotiate. I negotiate every one of my deals. I don't make any more or less based on upselling your client. Nope, 50K higher. To me, it makes no difference. At the end of the day, it's trying to find them the best deal. So using and rolling some of those incentives into closing costs is something that we do. People don't want they want to go to the transaction at the closing table and have no out-of-pocket money. That's easy to do. And some of them, your costs can be on a $700,000 home, you're probably looking at close to $20,000, $25K in closing costs if you're financing. Obviously, if it's cash, certainly less. Standard, we through our affiliate mortgage company, Pulte Mortgage, give $10K towards your closing costs. But if it were me buying the house or if it were you buying the house, you would certainly, and you knew you were financing, you would want to bump that number up and lock in. Because you're not paying that higher price, you're locking in a lower interest rate. And those incentives, and they're always changing. Like there was a time we were at 3.99 2 months ago. It was unheard of. Nobody had that. And of course, we sold during that time. It's a huge selling point. And they're always changing, but they change generally for the betterment of the sale, for your buyer's needs at that particular time, whether it be lower interest rate, whether it be more incentive. Thank you.